like to introduce Miss Kristi Kennelly to talk to us about ChatGPT and AI. What the heck is going on with that? How can we use it? I'm excited. Welcome, Kristi. Let's get you a spotlighted. All right, we can't hear you, Kristi, yet, but.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
There we
Sorry
go.
about that. You know, it's not a tech presentation unless, you know, something like that happens, right? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for Can you guys hear me now? I don't know why Zoom keeps muting me. Can you hear me now? Can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great,
Yes.
great. Sorry, here we go. All right. So we're going to talk about ChatGPT and AI. My name is Kristi Kennelly, and I am with a company called My Home. I am a marketing technology director. Before that, I was Realtor.com's first female national speaker. Yay for that. I was on the road with a lot of dudes. Prior to that, I ran marketing for a couple different tech companies in mortgage and real estate. And prior to that, I was a Broadway dancer, which just makes it weird. I know. So yeah, I did play Rumpelteazer in Cats on Broadway for 140 years. I played opposite Matthew Broderick in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. So I got to kiss Ferris Bueller an awful lot. Worked out better for Sarah Jessica Parker. And I played Peter Pan a lot. So if you all were to Google me, and actually Google might come up in this presentation today, you would find all of this out. But if you were to dive deep on Google, you would also find out that I have played an oyster. So the highs and lows of the performing career, not unlike some of the highs and lows of a challenging real estate market, it's all good. We're all going to get through it. Okay, so I want to give you some context before we dive into AI and ChatGPT. Marketing, what is it? If we had to boil it down, marketing is primarily content plus distribution. That is what Gary Vaynerchuk says, right? Content plus distribution. Now that's easier said than done. But we have all these marketing channels that we have to fill up with messages. So whether they're blog posts or letters or long form and short form videos or emails or social media posts, or what do we do with our Google business profile or personal outreach? Oh, what do we leave in the mail slot as a leave behind? And what do I say on the phone? And maybe you figure that out for a week and then you have to do it again and again and again. And the struggle is real, everybody, with what do I say week in and week out? What do I post? What should I be doing on video? Even professional marketers struggle with this, with content. It is challenging, but it's not impossible. And your choices for how to develop content for your marketing have just gotten really interesting. So the choices are, we could write content ourselves, and I'm just going to look at the few faces that I still have on the screen here. Who here loves writing blogs? Nobody. Nobody. I understand. I don't like writing. I get it. So we just need to be honest about some of these things, that we don't always enjoy writing mundane marketing, and that's okay. We could buy content. Now, purchase content is not a terrible strategy. I think it's actually fine when we use it sparingly, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But today we're going to focus primarily on using artificial intelligence to help us with our writing for marketing material. Then, of course, you have the option to hire people who can do this for you. But here's the dirty secret. we've all been using AI for the last 2 years. The secret is just out, and it's out with a pretty powerful tool. And then, of course, so many of you on the call know you can check in with me on some of these things. So I'm not going to actually focus on this idea of writing your own content today. We can do that another time, but no one really enjoys staring at a blank screen and trying to figure out what are the next 5 paragraphs I need to write for a proper letter. So let's not focus on that today. In terms of free and paid sources of content, for those in real estate and even lending, the sources on the right-hand side are fine. They're great for ideas. Now, the only problem with purchasing content, and for those of you taking screenshots, go ahead and screenshot this screen. These are great sources of content. But the only problem with this type of content is, well, I get this objection. Well, I don't want my marketing to look like everyone else's. Yeah, I get that. When you purchase content, the problem is you look a little vanilla. It's not unique. It's not you. It is purchase content. But if it's used sparingly as a complementary strategy, I think it's totally fine. Totally fine. Remember, what's important is that you're underscoring your authority in real estate consistently to your sphere and database. I'll say that just one more time because that's the goal. The goal is to underscore your credibility or your authority in real estate consistently to your sphere and database. So when they are ready to make some kind of move, they think of you. That's marketing. All right, so things just got interesting, though, when it comes to that. How do I do that? Well, we're going to use AI, artificial intelligence, or I should say, at least I do, and I hope you might consider it after today. So wait, what? Is this real? What's happening? We are talking about robots, chatbots, that can help you write anything. Specifically, with regard to mundane marketing, we're talking about articles and blog posts and video scripts and social media captions and emails and listing descriptions and letters and Google reviews, and it goes on and on and on, whatever you might need some assistance with. So ChatGPT. I'm going to assume that we've got a lot of different levels here on the call today. Some of you have heard about it. Maybe some of you haven't heard much about it. Some of you may have jumped on and played with it. Some of you may be fairly advanced with it at this point. I'm going to try to give a tip for everyone in this deck today. So let me get there. Slowly but surely, we'll get there. Let me give you more perspective. ChatGPT is having a moment. It's kind of like the it girl of the moment. It's the right tool, right time, right place for a lot of people. Not unlike when Google launched. So I don't know how many of you remember when Google launched, but it had 16 competitors. Does anyone remember Ask Jeeves? So Google essentially won out. It won, I think, 95% market share, was the better tool in many people's opinion, and it won out. Zoom, let's think 3 years ago, there were other tools, other webinar tools. There it's GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, WebEx, Skype, FaceTime. But Zoom, right tool, right price, right everything for Zoom. Similar. ChatGPT having a moment. There's other AI tools, and I'll admit to you all, I have been using AI for a couple of years. This tool just kind of came out of nowhere and is really, really good and is still currently free. So more context for you. The AI wars have only just begun, which sounds like a Carpenter song. Okay. ChatGPT is run by OpenAI. That's a company out of San Francisco that is heavily funded by Microsoft. And when I say heavily funded, I mean billions, billions of dollars have been put into this tool. Now, Microsoft and Google, they don't like each other so much. So Google is trying to launch their own version of AI called Bard. So if you think ChatGPT is a bad name, try saying Bard all day long. So we'll see what happens, but it's important for everyone to know that these two are fiercely going to compete with each other. I can tell you that Microsoft is already working towards plugging ChatGPT into Bing. Remember Bing? So Bing and Google, they just might compete in a whole new way. It's gonna get interesting. Okay. So ChatGPT, what is that? It stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. You don't need to write that down. Don't worry about that. All we need to know is it is a chatbot that generates content, generates material. It launched very quietly November, like Thanksgiving week last year. I don't know if you all remember, but the news was like, oh, ChatGPT just launched. It's freaking parents and teachers out. Kids will cheat on college essays tonight at 11. I was like, really? That's how we're going to cover this? Okay. I think it's much more than that. And the least of our worries is kids cheating on their college essays. By the way, ChatGPT has already launched technology to detect itself, so which is giving to schools. The kids are going to be fine. So we don't need to worry there. All right. What does it do? It understands and responds to natural language like the way we talk and write. So in other words, when we command this chatbot or direct it or prompt it, and that is the word that they prefer, when we prompt this chatbot, we can do it as if we're talking to a human being. It's creepy and convenient. It's been trained on a massive amount of data, more data points than there are stars in the sky would be my guess. So therefore, it can generate a wide variety of responses to all kinds of questions and prompts. Currently, there is a free and a paid option. I'm sticking with the free for now because I want to see how the big battle plays out between Google and ChatGPT and Microsoft. However, if you are struggling with getting into ChatGPT, if the robot's not working fast enough for you, you can pay $20 a month, and they say they'll give you priority access to some new features. We'll see. Again, I'm sticking with the free for now. Knock on wood, I have not had trouble getting in. I had trouble getting in the early days, but that seems to have sorted out. Okie dokie. So how does it work? I'm going to grab a quick drink here. All right. What I need everyone to consider is opening a free account at chat.openai.com. So that I would love for you to write down. Chat.openai.com. You'll have your option to set up with an email account, set up with a Google account, which is a little ironic. You could dust off a Microsoft account. So you have choices for how you want to set up your account. And then once you're in, you're going to see this screen that you're seeing on this slide right now. And you're going to say to yourself, really, is that it? I think it's broken. Doesn't look right. It looks bizarrely simple. There's no advertising, which is totally refreshing. And it is this simple. I do want you to read through some of the capabilities and limitations. So real quick, in terms of capabilities, it's going to remember what it's said to you, like a person. It remembers the conversation that you're having. And that becomes really helpful really quickly. You'll see what I mean shortly. You can provide it follow-up corrections, follow-up prompts. You can tell it, yeah, that's great. Do that, but now add this. Do that, but don't do this. Just like talking to a person. What else do you need to know? It may occasionally produce incorrect information. It's not perfect by any means. In fact, chatbots will do a thing called hallucinate. It's a real thing. When we don't give it enough information, or if it's not completely up to date on a topic, it might make some things up. That's why I'm going to always encourage you to read through whatever it produces very, very thoroughly, very thoroughly. That's redundant. Read through it thoroughly and make corrections as necessary. It's trying very hard not to produce biased or harmful information, and it does have a limited knowledge of events after 2021. So it is catching up, but it's really good with more standard information. Again, if we were to ask it about headlines as of today, it might struggle with that. But we can work around this. Trust me, this is not necessarily going to hold you up. Okie dokie. So then what we do is we start asking it in this little search bar here. We start asking it questions, or we ask it to do things for us. And I'm going to start at a very basic level. And then I promise we're going to get way more detailed and strategic and maybe even a little aggressive by the end here. So basic prompts. All right, write 3 ways to spruce up your home. Write a blog about 3 ways to spruce up your home before spring selling season begins. Is that a popular topic? Yes, I see that all over the place this time of year from sources like Keeping Current Matters and Realtor.com. We put that into the chatbot. The chatbot writes that blog post for you in 10 seconds. Crazy. Now, it's not copying and pasting from the internet per se. It's trying not to do that. It's using a natural language model where it looks for patterns of words that should go together based on everything that's in its little chatbot brain. And it does a shockingly good job of it. So we'll take a look at that, be a little shocked and go, wow, because you'll watch it in real time, write this for you. And then maybe you think, okay, I need some social media content for this week or this weekend. What are things to do in Sherman Oaks? Bam, in 5 to 10 seconds. Things to do in Sherman Oaks, not copy and pasted from the internet, written for you. Now, if you don't like the way it wrote it, you hit regenerate. Remember, it's a generative pre-trained transformer. We regenerate, it rewrites it a different way. If we still don't like it, maybe it sounds a little formal. It's not quite, doesn't sound enough like you. We say, okay, chatbot, things to do in Sherman Oaks, but make it funny. Bam. Now we have given it a topic. We can give it a format like blog or email or social media post, Facebook post, what have you. And then we can give it a tone. Make it funny, make it casual, make it elegant, make it sophisticated, make it enthusiastic, make it compassionate, make it friendly. I could tell it to make me sound like Jennifer Aniston if I wanted to. And I'm not joking around. Like, it will actually take celebrity personalities and apply that sensibility, sense of humor to the topic, maintaining the integrity of the topic, but giving it personality. It's mind-blowing. Okay, so I'm hoping where your brains are right now, maybe you're thinking, well, the one thing I really don't like doing is writing listing descriptions. I get it. So this is probably your the easiest application of it is to have it write listing descriptions. So we take a description and we plug it into ChatGPT, and we simply tell the robot, rewrite this description. And we give it plenty to work with. So here we've got, this is a description out for a property in Washington. One of a kind Clark County masterpiece. There's nothing like this on the market. Spectacular waterfront living with breathtaking Columbia River views, blah, blah, blah. All right, ChatGPT, rewrite this. Experience the ultimate in waterfront living with this one-of-a-kind custom home located in Clark County. From the moment you enter, you'll be struck by the breathtaking views of the Columbia River and the sleek modern design of the, oh, wow. So it will rewrite a listing description for you, and it will make it elegant or casual or enthusiastic or urgent, whatever, or a combination of all of those adjectives, whatever you'd like. The one thing it won't be is rude, just so you know. It actually struggles with sarcasm, which I find interesting. But otherwise, it will work with nearly any adjective. Okay. If you're taking notes, the better the input, the better your output. The more you give it, the less it will hallucinate on you and give you more of what you're looking for. However, if you're just in a hurry or you're just not feeling it today, and you just want to get started, you can put in as something this basic. Write a description about a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home in Studio City, near Fashion Square Mall, near freeways, Carpenter School District. And then it wrote this description in about 5 seconds for me. Now, it's not as elegant. It doesn't have as much to go on, but it still wrote out a listing description with you just giving basic facts. Again, my suggestion is you give it more than that, but I'm just showing you an example of it will even work with very little information if necessary. Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, does it translate in other languages? Yes, it will translate into other languages. I have confirmed that it does a beautiful job with formal Spanish, does a fine job with Chinese, and a great job with Korean. And that's all I've been able to confirm so far. But I'm sure in other languages, you'd probably be in a safe area there with translation. Amazing. And it does that within 5 seconds. You just tell it, translate in Spanish. Done. So video. I would imagine a number of you on the call do video marketing. That is the type of marketing most people enjoy consuming. So maybe this was brought up at the beginning of the call. You just found out on this meeting that, maybe it's worth talking to people who have a lot of equity in their homes about the idea of investing. Maybe you want to make a video about should new real estate investors hire a property manager? That makes total sense, right? If we're going to talk about this topic with people, it's on my mind. I'm one of those people of, oh gosh, I should probably invest in real estate, but do I need to hire somebody or what? How does that work? You find out about this topic perhaps on this call, or maybe you see someone speaking of it on Instagram. ChatGPT will write your content for you. Now you've got to go in and make the edits yourself, but boom, it happens in seconds. So let me just show you this process. I get the idea from a call like today, or I'm on Instagram and I see, oh, I should be talking about this idea of investing in properties and should you hire a property manager? I put the idea into ChatGPT. I get my brand new virtual assistant with a college degree in English who is very smart but doesn't know a lot about real estate. I tell the chatbot what I want out of it. I get the script. I put it into a teleprompter like BigView.tv or maybe an app. Another app called Teleprompter. There's a bunch of them out there, but here's a secret. I use a teleprompter tool. I plug it into bigview.tv, and then I make my video about should real estate investors hire a property manager. Here we go. As a new real estate investor, should you hire a property manager? Well, here are 3 reasons a property manager can be a good idea. Number 1, time management. Property management can be a full-time job, especially if you have multiple rental properties. So ChatGPT wrote that script for me. I pasted it into the teleprompter, I made my video. The whole project took me 20 minutes. So I no longer spend 2 hours making a video. I do not fret and worry about it. I work with this chatbot, and I have the right mentality for it, where I think of it as my new free digital assistant who I'm going to direct, and who's not going to get it 100% right, but who's going to deliver to me a draft that's about 95% there. I go in and make some edits and tweaks, and I make the project, or I send the video, or I send the email, or I create the blog, whatever the case may be. So let's think about this then. All right, well, everybody says that we should be making educational material, that's what should be out on social media, and that's what we should be doing in videos. And yeah, absolutely. So let's take a definition. You all just talked about buy down loans. So we grab the definition from somewhere. We talk to Marty about it, and we go to the chatbot. The chatbot will write the first draft. Maybe it's just a video about what 2-to-1 buy down loans are, and in the video, we say, make sure you reach out to me and I will connect you with our lender who can explain it in further detail. But bottom line, I get my script, I put it into my teleprompter, I'm going to make some edits, and I make my video. Are you tired of high interest rates and frustration? I get it. Well, have no fear, because the buy down is here. Okay, a buy down in real estate is when a borrower or seller pays a one-time fee. You guys get the idea. I don't know what 2-to-1 buy down loans are, but I know you do, and I know Marty does. And in the video, I can give it my best shot, my overview, and make sure that the viewer knows they can reach out to me, and that I will bring in a professional like Marty to go over those details. So it's just, we're only limited by our imaginations, and what we can do is save so much time and elevate our material, whether that's a video script or whether that's an email or a letter, but we can get a lot done. So now look at workflow. If I'm in the chatbot and I'm working on a topic like 2-to-1 buy down loans, I'm going to get the chatbot to write an email about 2-to-1 buy down loans. And then I'm actually going to give it more direction than that. I'm going to say, I am a real estate agent. This email is going to my database of clients and prospects. Call to action is to reach out to me so that I can connect them with my mortgage professional. Done. I will have an email in 10 seconds. You'll want to go through it, make sure it's accurate, make sure it didn't hallucinate. And then I'm going to say thank you, because I like being nice to the robot. I always want, I don't know why. I just know it's recording everything. So I'm nice. Great. Thank you. Write this as a blog post. Done. Ooh, thank you. But make that funny. Done. Adjusted with a humorous tone. Tremendous. Write this as a short YouTube script for me. Done. Thank you. Write my YouTube title and description for me. It knows what YouTube likes and what kind of description should go on YouTube. Thank you. Gosh, I'm going to use that same video for YouTube on Instagram. Can you write my Instagram caption for me? Done. So we just did 5 or 6 projects that could have taken a week to do, maybe longer. We get it done in 20 to 30 minutes. So I've got an email, I've got my blog post, I've got my video script, I've got YouTube title and description, I've got what's going to go with my Instagram reel and the caption for my reel. So I am going to send that email, I'm going to publish my blog, I'm going to make and post my video, and then I'm going to get on with my day. So we have to think of this like that digital assistant who is free, that's going to help prep you like a boss, right? You're the boss. It's going to prep you like a boss with content and it does the first draft. So when we are better with our input, the output is better. Your direction should include topic, tone, and format. So this is how specific I can be with a single prompt to get almost exactly what I'm looking for. Single prompt, write an email to my database about how I sold a property in 6 days during the holiday season. Mention that I made 268 personal phone calls, leveraged Instagram Reels and my email database to get the job done. Discuss how it's still a good time to sell in 2023 and why. Mention there's less competition with low inventory. Write it in the tone of a 50-year-old woman and keep it lighthearted. Done. 10 seconds. That's how specific we can be. And when we give the chatbot just detailed instructions, then we get more of what we want out of it. And just to prove a point, maybe Anthony, I'm feeling sassy. Maybe I'm feeling sassy today. And I say, yeah, I love that, but write that in the tone of Kevin Hart. Yo, yo, yo. I hope you're doing well and crushing your 2023 goals. I got some big news that I just got. Not that I am assuming you all want to take on the personality of Kevin Hart. I am just showing you, I could be Dolly Parton. I could be Jennifer Aniston. It will put a sense of humor on top, or a personality on top of whatever topic you're working on, and maintain the integrity of the topic, but just give it a flair of any sort. Again, that could be elegant, sophisticated, casual, whatever you're looking for. So how can ChatGPT be used? It says, because I asked it, it says that it can be used to generate content for marketing generally, websites, social media, written materials. Can it be used for commercial purposes? Latest FAQ that I saw on ChatGPT said yes. Originally, the answer was murky. But here's my suggestion to all of you, and I'm not an attorney. Clearly, I'm an old dancer that's a marketing nerd. I say use ChatGPT to help get your creative juices flowing. The tool does not necessarily copy and paste from the internet, but I'm not a copyright attorney. I'm not as concerned about copyright so much as I'm concerned about AI detecting AI. They're already able to do that. Like, for anyone that thinks that they're not, that Google and Microsoft can't do that, they can do that. So to be safe, use it as a research point and edit it for your voice. You're going to want to anyway. You're not going to want to sound exactly like Jennifer Aniston, but it's fun. And what it does is it unlocks your creativity. It gets you thinking in a more humorous way or a more elegant way, or whatever the case may be. You're going to want to go in and make sure it sounds like you, because the last thing you want to do is send an email with someone saying, that doesn't sound like Kristi. What's happening? I'm not after that. We want to use this like it's an assistant. So are there other AI tools? Yes. My little secret was that I was using AI for the last couple of years. I don't know what's going to happen to these tools, to be honest with you all. Will they survive this competition? I don't know. But copy.ai exists. There's a limited free version. So again, I just don't know how long it will keep competitive, stay competitive. But I used it to help me write social media posts in the past. I could say something as simple as great brewery in Van Nuys, McLeod's, and it would write a handful of different social media posts that I could choose from. Again, I'm not sure what's going to happen, if it'll make it, but it's been around for a couple of years. Same with Jasper. Some of you may be familiar with Jasper. That is a paid tool, really nice for blog posts. But again, I don't know what's going to happen. They've got to remain competitive. So we'll see. The war, like I said, the wars have just begun, but there are alternative tools out there. I'm just going to recommend you play around with ChatGPT if you haven't, because it is still currently free. Canva. For those of you who use Canva, Canva has an AI tool within it called Magic Write. It's okay. It'll probably get better. All of this technology is going to get better. But I could go in and on a document in Canva, I could say, give me 5 reasons to choose me as your realtor, and it'll write it for me. You know, it's not going to be awesome. You're going to need to go in there and do some more work. You got to give these chatbots more to work with than just that. But what's kind of cool about Canva is not only will it write that content for you, but it will convert it to a presentation deck, which is amazing for those of you who don't like putting PowerPoints together or decks together. Whew, that one's a good time saver. So AI is going to be, I'm going to tell you guys right now, in nearly every real estate tool that is presented to you, it's going to start, they're going to start saying, now with AI, everything. And there's amazing AI out there right now. This is only the beginning. If you go to Futurepedia, futurepedia.ai, future, or just Google Futurepedia, it's a directory of all kinds of AI tools that are available right now. Right now, there is AI that will generate music from text prompts, that will create art, logos. Ooh, logos. Hold on to that thought for a minute. For those of you who are parents or grandparents, it'll solve math problems. I am not going to lie. I've used AI to help me with my kids' homework for the last 2 years. Personalized bedtime stories. My kid could have a chat with Abraham Lincoln right now if he wanted to. You know, not the real guy, but you know what I'm talking about. There's a chatbot lawyer that you could talk to. Crazy. I could have Snoop Dogg or Gwyneth Paltrow read a book to me through Speechify if I wanted to. And they're in on that, by the way. They're all for it. So it's out there. And I know the next thought, or, you know, it's normal for us all to think, well, is this going to replace me? Like, what's happening? Woo. So I asked ChatGPT, is this going to replace all of us? And some experts, it says that some experts believe AI has the potential to replace humans in some tasks, while others believe it will simply augment human capabilities and create new types of jobs. We'll see. You guys, again, I'm just an old dancer who's a marketing nerd. So for whatever this is worth, I think this type of technology will put a premium on human experiences. And I think this technology is going to be all about the strategy. How do we direct these robots? I don't think we lose a lot of sleep over this. Let's let it help us with tasks that we don't like doing anyway. In 10 minutes a week ago, I needed to write a letter of recommendation for one of my kids' teachers, and I needed to write a Google review for my dentist. Both of those things I put off for a long time. I finally got around to it because I asked the chatbot to help me. I got both of those pieces done in 10 minutes. I sent the letter of recommendation to the teacher, who was an English teacher and had no idea that I had collaborated with the chatbot. Mostly he fell out of his chair and was so thankful that I wrote the letter. Same with the dentist when I wrote the really lovely Google review. We don't need to necessarily say we collaborated with the chatbot. I mostly got those tasks done. And I did it in a really lovely way because I combined what my assistant did for me with my edits. Done. Saves me time. I don't have to worry about what to write. I just need to learn how to command my assistant in the best possible way. So back to kind of where we began. Choices. We can write content ourselves. Of course, we can still do that. Just staring at a blank canvas for a lot of people is intimidating, but we can still write content. We can purchase content, or we get ideas from all of that content out there, and we use artificial intelligence as a way to collaborate. We collaborate with these chatbots and still put a personal touch on things. If you were to hire someone, just know that they're going to be using AI going forward. It's been the secret forever and ever. And back to that big picture thinking, we have to fill all of these marketing channels. What do we put in those marketing channels? We have to find ways to get marketing messages out efficiently so you can spend more time on activities you enjoy or activities that make you more money. And so specifically with ChatGPT, I want to go into really quick here a kind of aggressive idea. And while I'm doing this, Anthony, how we doing so far? So I'm going just to bring up this idea here of next level branding. What if on your next listing presentation, what if now that you know that ChatGPT exists, you can write material so very quickly. What if we were able to create a brand around a property and a lifestyle? So what I mean by that is, what if you're able to go into a listing presentation and say, I've already started on the marketing campaign? What? Seller says, what? What if you walked in with a listing description already written and you just say it's preliminary listing description, but ChatGPT helps you do that in a matter of seconds now. What if you went into the listing presentation with a letter to the neighbors announcing the property? It's preliminary, of course. But what if you were able, let me just unhide this and show this to you all. What if you were able to go to a listing presentation, and before that presentation, you ask ChatGPT to give you a list of names for a property? Remember, the chat bot remembers the conversation. So you could go into that conversation where it gave you the listing description and you say, ChatGPT, give me a list of names for this property, kind of like what Airbnb does. And you get a list of names. And here I've got a bunch to work with, Serenity and Sherman Oaks. I kind of like that, but I'm going to shorten that up. Sherman Oaks Serenity. I like that for the name of this property. ChatGPT, give me a list of taglines for this property. ChatGPT then spits out a bunch of slogans or taglines. And let's say I like a couple of these, but I'm going to, again, just shorten it up and make it a little bit more my own. But this, I just brainstormed with the chatbot. I'm going to go with tranquil living in the valley. Well, then I could go to logo.com, which is an AI generator for logos. It's a robot that creates logos. I go to logo.com. I plug in the name Sherman Oaks Serenity, tranquil living in the valley, and I create a brand for this listing. And then I walk into my listing presentation and I could show them a few of the logos that I favorited, or I could print these out. I could do however I want to present this. And I could say, I've already begun some of the creative work with my team on the branding of this property. Which one do you like? I like the one with the palm tree. It's pretty cool. We got this great palm tree in the backyard. What I'm trying to do is maybe get you into a more presumptive close situation using AI now in a really creative way, get you back to being creative marketers. And why not think about taking this to this level? There are no rules, and all of this is at our fingertips. So with that, with 20 minutes before a listing presentation, whether it's the day of or the couple days before, whatever the case may be, could you write a property description, a name for the property, a tagline, a letter to the neighbors, maybe the verbiage for an open house flyer, maybe example social media ads, who knows? You get the idea. But the idea here is using ChatGPT and this idea of AI in creative ways and to think outside of the box. And with that, Anthony, I want to turn this back over to you.
Thank you, Kristi. I'm just overwhelmed at all the new ideas that I've thought of how AI and ChatGPT can really help my business as a realtor. I just opened an escrow company and the escrow side of things, and just writing a recommendation letter. I hate that. And being able to have an opportunity to help my words sound better. I'm not the most elegant writer, and this is really, really exciting to me. So thank you so much for sharing all of this. I hope everyone really, really enjoyed today's presentation. The Real Estate Alliance is really committed to helping anyone who touches the real estate business in education and events and networking. We have a national conference coming up in Houston in September, and we would just really, really be honored to have all of you as members if you're not already. And if you are, please stay tuned. We'll be emailing you all of our next sessions, and we do have a Facebook page. And soon we'll have an Instagram page. So if you search Los Angeles Real Estate Alliance, you can follow us there too. But so good to see so many friendly faces, and look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great week, everyone.